All right. Hey, everybody. It's Shang Belmonte, and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to give you an update about StarStake. So, a few months ago, I have given some heads up to my friends in the music industry about StarStake, and the response was amazing. Everybody's so excited. And to sum up what they think about StarStake is that it's kind of something that they didn't know they needed, and it's finally here. Few months after, StarSec is still hasn't launched. Okay, so everybody's like hitting me up. What's up, Shang? We're so excited to be on board. When is this gonna launch? And I do not mind giving one-on-one updates to my dear friends, to my um, singers from before, co-performers. But I thought of a better way to give you an update. That's why I invited my husband today on this episode of my Star Stake videos um, to give you more details about what is really going on with Star Stakes these days. He is the founder and CEO of this platform that you're about to experience in a very few weeks, I would say. Um, he is the one who envisioned, who has the vision to create this amazing platform. It's kind of like one stop for all our NFT needs. But of course, he didn't just wake up one day and say, "I'm gonna make StarStake." It's actually the product of him being a serial entrepreneur for almost 2 decades, building businesses online, helping people with their businesses, and he wanted to do more a few years back, but it's just that the technology is just not ready just yet. Until we now have the blockchain technology, the Web3, and NFTs are born. And NFTs, as you know it, has evolved so much. It's not just the digital piece of artwork, and it has evolved that uh, anything that you actually own can be transformed into an NFT. And it so happened that he was engaged then to his fiance, who is in the music industry, who needs this so bad as well. So let us welcome my dear husband, the CEO and founder of StarSake NFT platform, Chris Ha.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate
Hi.
it. It's kind of weird when you do like an interview with your wife. It's a little bit different, um, but it's amazing at the same time. So thanks. I think this is a great opportunity for us to talk about Star State because you see me working on it all the time, all day, every day in the factory, nonstop, if you will. And happy to be here to explain to the people you know, to your colleagues, more about it.
Yes. My colleagues and people in the NFT world kind of know what StarStake is already. But for some people here, our audience who is the first time maybe they heard about StarStake, can you give us a quick intro what StarStake is all
Sure.
about?
Um, so StarStake is a utility-based NFT platform. It's built in Web3. It's it's really just a platform to connect consumer and fan, or consumer and creator together in a way that we've never had before. Whether you're a fan of music and you want to connect more with that musician or that songwriter, or if you're a fan of sports and you want to connect with an athlete more, to build connections where in the past we've never really had the opportunity to do so. Really, I mean, if you look at the world we live in this social economy, right? Our connections really go as far as saying, hey, I follow you on social media, or I'm subscribed to your channel, right? Or how many likes or whatever. I mean, that's kind of the measure of our connections, where we're entering into what we call an access economy now. And all that means is, how do I have access to you? If you're a musician, I want access to you, to your content, to your music, to what's going on with you. I want to be part of that journey. And because of technology, we're able to do some amazing things. And so it was, I don't know, a couple years ago, we had some ideas. I didn't even know what an NFT was a year and a half ago. I knew what blockchain and cryptocurrency, and I knew where things were kind of going, but then I saw what blockchain and Web3 could really do. It opened up doors that, gosh, I mean, I prayed, I wish we had 10 years ago when I had my other businesses, because it really it creates this fair financial system for creators especially, but for brands and for artists and for anybody, even entrepreneurs. So StarStake started with an idea of, say, how can we connect people together financially? So as a fan, you can be connected to that, your favorite music artist, financially through rewards and royalties and some really cool things. And you can be part of that process. I mean, we kind of are anyway, right? Like, we share our favorite music or we share a video we like on YouTube, but the fans aren't rewarded fairly for that. And it's not by choice. I think a lot of creators would love to share their success with fans. Unfortunately, they don't see a lot of that money. The big centralized platforms take that money, right? Or the music labels take that money. So there's very little left over for that artist, and they just don't have the means, one, the way to distribute that money to fans and reward them, let alone the extra money to do so. So StarStake was really to kind of break the mold. We didn't know if we could do it. It was super ambitious, to be able to not only connect people financially, but then to also connect these creators and give them their own economy. All right. And so what I mean by that is, right now, if you take a YouTuber, right, and they make money from YouTube and their videos are monetized, that's an income stream. We're talking about a creator has the ability now to build an entire economy, because look, YouTube can turn you off tomorrow. We all know that, Sheng, you know that. And it's frustrating, it's difficult. Whereas in StarStake, you can have control now. You have your own economy, meaning you make money all over the place, and it's shared just with you and whoever you want to share that with. There is no centralized party that decides, when you can access your community. In fact, it's the other way around. These big brands and these platforms are going to pay you for access to your community. So that was kind of the vision with StarStake. And, kind of as we started going down this road and we started to just learn and figure things out, like, oh, what if we did this? And what if we could do that? And what if we could create NFTs that could give access to products? And then we figured that out. And so we created this really, I think, pretty special platform that's launching here in just a few weeks, in the coming weeks. And I'm just super excited about it.
That is amazing. I mean, I hear this every day, but you explaining it right now, and just, I just can picture everything that you're saying again and again, even though I've heard it so many times. I'm still so excited and feel so grateful that and lucky that we actually live in this time of era that the technology is just there to work for us. Right. Okay. All right. I know that there's a lot of people who's been who know StarTech from like a year ago, right? And everybody is so excited. They have seen, some people have seen the development, how StarStake has evolved as well, right? As a product and as a brand. And me myself, I actually was able to get into the test server and try out my box, created my NFT, my StarStake NFT, just play around it. And it looks like everything is ready, is working, so everybody's like asking me where is it, because I post this stuff and they're like, oh, when can I do that? They're so excited. It from the outside they think that it's ready, so why haven't it launched yet? Like, Shang, where is it happening? And with that, I think it's much better for them to hear it from you, like, where is StarStake right now? What are still there is left to do before we can actually taste the rocket? Can you tell us something about all the latest updates? What's up with StarStake these days?
Sure. So I get asked that question 30 times a day, 50 times a day, it feels like. And just people are like, hey, when is it ready? When is it going to come out? And a lot of the artists we've been meeting with one-on-one, or we've been doing, Zooms with other, from musicians to athletes to authors to experts, educators, you name it. I mean, just artists in general. And they're all like, okay, I want this now. When can I get it? And unfortunately, I can't tell them exactly, because we're talking about technology. It's kind of the reason why I think, a lot of times Apple doesn't talk about their release dates until the stuff is done, because it's really hard to build technology in a world, in a state like we are in right now, where things are moving so fast. It's just so hard, because you can't predict how and what's going to happen as you're building it. Because look, if you're innovating, you're creating solutions to problems, and maybe you don't know the answer right away. So you start to develop something and you're like, oh, that really didn't work as well as we thought, or wow, that just opened up a whole new door of things. So when we started building StarStake, we always kind of thought, oh, we're not that far, we're not that far. But as each component was built, it was like, wow, well, we learned that here, let's use that for the next section, right? And so, we got the NFT bucks working, and that was amazing. This huge deal where now the community can build their own price stabilized NFT currency, which essentially makes the creator PayPal, if you will. Your fans, you know, Justin Bieber can have his own Bieber bucks, and you can have Shang bucks, and people can buy that and collect those, and then they can spend them on other NFTs, and then if they don't spend them, they can convert them right back into dollars again, which is insane if you really think about what that means. And so when we built that, and that piece is done, then we moved into the StarStake NFTs, which are like the utility NFTs that have royalties and rewards. And that includes like page builders and some really cool ways to showcase your stuff and sharing features and just all these cool things. We have agent programs, all this stuff. And as we started doing that, we learned a little bit more, right? And we had to redesign a little bit of our interface and say, you know what, that was a little bit, because look, this thing has a lot of features and there's a lot you can do with it. It's open-ended. And this is by design. We wanted creators to come in here and have control. We didn't want to create rules. We didn't want to tell them, here's how you have to make an NFT for making NFT's sake. Like, we want you to build an economy. We want you to connect with your fans in whatever ways that they want and that you want. And so because of that, you have a lot of scenarios, and you have, okay, if this, then that kind of happening. And so we built the StarStake NFTs. It works great. All the smart contracts, all the security there. But then we're like, okay, how can we protect our consumers? And this started to come up with us saying, one of our NFT types are called access NFTs. So when a creator maybe mints an NFT, they can say, hey, when you spend $1,000 with me today, I'll give you this t-shirt and this backstage pass and ... Right? So they can include these different bonus NFTs that give access to stuff. Well, we had to start thinking Amazon in our brain a little bit, because we didn't want people to come on here and claim to be Beyonce, some guy from middle of Iowa somewhere, right? So we had to protect the identities of these brands and intellectual property owners. And then we also wanted to create protection for people that were getting NFTs that could be redeemed for products. It's one thing to have the digital certificate of it, but it's like, how do you get the golf clubs? How do you get the t-shirt? How do you get that backstage pass, instead of having somebody just sell you an NFT and run away and disappear forever? So it's a little bit different, because typically if you buy something on Amazon, you have refund policies, and there's some big things there that help protect consumers. This is much better, because you imagine if you got a limited edition t-shirt or something from J-Lo or Beyonce, right? Not only would you have the NFT for that certifies that you have that limited edition thing, you could then sell that later to some other super fan, right? And you can transfer it from owner to owner, and you can say, oh, look at Mike Tyson had that thing, last year or 2 years ago. And so it has this really cool track record that creates value, and people buy that, just like, celebrities buy other celebrities' homes, and stuff like that. So, we've learned a lot. It's delayed us a bit, but it's all in the effort to protect our consumers, to create a really great experience for creators. And this was one thing that came up was, look, if you're a creator of any type, or a brand or a business, you're busy building a business. Learning technology is the last thing you ever want to do, because it takes time and it slows you down a lot of times. It's just, if technology is that great, it should just look like magic, right? You pick up an iPhone, it just works. And that's a testament of good technology and innovation. So with us, we just wanted to create something that creators could just pop in there. They could mint something, they could create it, they could show it off to the world. They wouldn't have to worry about all the technical coding and anything. Like, it's super easy. So that took a long time, Shang. And I will tell you that probably the biggest thing is we put a rate and review system in. So now when you look at NFTs, you could actually see, what did other people, how did they rate that? How did they review it? Oh, that was amazing. I got this, this, and this. Things like that, that you find in the e-commerce world that work great, or even the service provider world if you're contracting, outsourcing talent. But now we brought it to the NFT world. So we did that. We added that last minute, and we've revamped our marketplace, which is I'm super excited about, just because we wanted to make discovery an experience. We wanted you to be able to go on StarStake and not only find your favorite artists or your favorite intellectual property and brands, but discover new ones, right? Like that's the fun of it. Is we didn't want to force you to see things like Facebook or YouTube or these other big companies. They force you based on these algorithms. We wanted you as users or explorers of StarStake to discover, and that's a big value in the company. So all this being said, it's our team has been working crazy hours. A lot of it is done. I would say we are about 90% done, and that last 10% is testing, it's debugging, it's security, and it's marketing. And now we have a whole team dedicated to doing all that stuff. And I know we're going to talk about that here in a minute, but that's the updates for now. I could go on and on and on. It's just every day is amazing because we learn and we build new stuff.
Well, it's amazing to hear. I know for the people who are listening to us right now, who has been on the NFT world or planning to be in the NFT space, whether they are a creator or they are a consumer, it's nice to know that a platform like this is is going to look after the consumers and the creators. You know what I mean? So that's a check. It's a big check, I
Right.
think, for me and everyone who's listening here. That there's some you look out and takes care of the people who uses the platform as much as you can. That's good to know. And uh, aside from that, like, is there any addition to the group these
Hmm.
days? When I got to the NFT world, kinda in my attempt to actually understand what you're working on, the NFT space, the Web3, the blockchain, I actually had to buy NFTs as well and learn from a ton of influencers and got into this project that I've been following for like 3 years. I got into NFT. And one of the things that I learned, although their NFT projects is, the typical, you buy tokens, a pair, and then you make a baby, and then you sell them and trade them. But one thing that's important for me is just to learn how, you have to put your hands on something to really learn it. So I did it. And one thing I learned is um, you have to keep an eye on the projects that you're getting involved with, just so you prevent yourself from, getting to the rug pulls, that stuff. And one thing that I learned is that you have to look who are the people behind the project. It's very important that, you know, uh, who you're giving your trust to. So with that, I think uh, it's fair enough for people to hear a few of the people involved behind Starstake. If you can share that with us.
Sure. Well, look, this isn't just the NFT world. Anytime you're looking at a business or you're investing in a company, if you're buying stock or, if you're a venture capitalist, whatever the case, you look at the people behind it because, look, let's face it, the stuff is really, really hard. Starting a business in general is hard. Starting a technology company and building that is exponentially harder because finding talent is one of the hardest things to the whole process. Okay, it's one thing to be an idea person. We've seen this so much, and I see this especially in the crypto industry or NFT industry, where it's like, hey, we're launching this cryptocurrency or we're launching this NFT with the idea of what we're going to do with it later, right? And so, oh, this is what we plan to do, and this is our ideas. Well, that's great, but that's like me going to Shark Tank and sitting in front of the judges and pitching an idea and saying, oh, this is what my idea is, and actually having nothing in place to execute that, right? Because it's not about the idea. It's not even about the technology required. It's like, who do you have on your team that's going to help you get it done? It's not like you can just go to the street corner and be like, hey, is somebody going to help me with this? Like, building technology takes some real talent. And it's not only the talent, it's the commitment. Not only from you, you may work 20 hours a day, but you need people that will commit just like you. I mean, it takes a lot of time. So, and time is money. It costs money. These people aren't cheap. And so one thing with StarStake, we're super, super lucky and blessed and fortunate to have the team that we have. And in the 20 years I've been building companies and doing things, this is by far the best group of people I've ever worked with. We formed a company and a development team, an executive team that I would put up against anybody. It's amazing how those pieces fell into place this time around. We have some amazing, very skilled developers. We've added some, we've got rid of some. We've got some of the best designers, I think, in the user interface world, and that's why StarStake looks and functions the way it does. But we also have some really great key creative people and executives like Maria and Tarek, who are some of our agile officers. She helps organize and manage these teams and make sure their output is where it needs to be. And Tarek, who's like, he's just this golden goose of a man who came in for one thing and he ended up being something totally different. And he has brought in so much creativity. I've called upon him. I've asked him to do things at a tall order, and he has done it. It's just amazing the creativity that has come out of him. And you just can't plan for that. You can't hire for that. You can't go out there and put out an application and think you'll get that. You just have to be patient enough to find it. And so Tarek was huge. And recently we just brought in our CMO, our Chief Marketing Officer, Chris, who we call Cap because we have the same name. Kaczynski is his name. And he came in to help us get this out to the world. And some people might say, well, Chris, if you've been building this for a year, why doesn't everybody know about it on social media? Why isn't it everywhere? Well, we did that on purpose because this is a competitive industry. There's people with deep pockets. People in the tech space, especially Web3 right now and NFTs, are looking for the freshest ideas. They're looking for the next biggest step, right? Like, people are trying to figure out how to use this stuff still. It's like the internet. And so we didn't want to give our advantage to anybody, especially anybody that had capabilities. Although our technology is proprietary, and I would challenge any organization, I don't care if you have 5,000 employees, to pull off what we've done, because it really is incredible. But we just didn't want people to copy our ideas or even say that they were going to do something, which is usually what happens, right? Oh, we're going to do this Bucks thing, and even though they probably could not or will not pull it off. We just didn't want to go out to the market until we were ready, until our product was really close to being done. And so we stayed really lean. We didn't overhire early on, and we just recently brought Cap on, and he's been building our community Discord, which is amazing. All our social media, basically all the protocols and systems that we need in place to get that out there now. Content management, all of that. So he's new to the team, and he's phenomenal. The team definitely has been jiving with him, and just overall, the amount of creators and creatives that we have on board are just second to none, I think. And you guys obviously will see that when you see the product if you haven't already. But I would say that's the hardest part, Shang, and is managing this team. And like Steve Jobs would say, it's like managing the orchestra. It's you have all these personalities, you have all these different interests, and look, people get COVID, or somebody dies, or somebody's on vacation, and you have to account for that. And if they can't do it, you end up doing things yourself. So that's the hardest part, but we have an awesome team here, no doubt.
And I must say, they have an amazing leader like you
Oh,
are.
thanks.
So
I have an amazing wife. So
I've
mhm.
Aw. No, seriously though, I see you work every night and day with your team, and just your leadership is also there. That's why the team works how it's working right now, and I'm very proud of
Thank you.
you for that. So, we've heard about the latest that's happening with StarSig, the development, the addition to uh, the platform, the team, how you plan to put the word out there about StarStake once it's launched or it's done. Um, there's so many things to get excited about the project, right? And like I said, I've I had to go into the NFT world and buy NFT myself because I need to experience it and learn it. With that, I also found out that there's actually a lot of NFT, not only NFT projects, but NFT platforms, right? There are the giant names, and there are also a lot of access based or music based NFTs out there, where the creators or the musicians, the uh, artist has been minting their own NFTs. I guess my a very important question for today is, if I am an artist who's minted on other platforms, right? I have experienced it. Maybe I've made some income from it. Why should I pay attention to StarStake? Why should I still consider minting on StarStake if I can mint on other platforms that's similar to it? I can also sell royalties to my music. You know what I mean? How is StarStake different from other platforms? I think is the best question that I could pull out here.
So this is an interesting question. It's a loaded question, but I think it's important that anybody who's kind of thinking about NFTs or even hearing about NFTs explores this, explores Web3, and starts to transition their business over time to a Web3 business or a brand, or if you have products, if you're an influencer especially, or if you have an audience or community, because that is where we're headed. It's inevitable now. We saw it with cryptocurrency. We're seeing it with NFTs. Soon, you'll be able to tokenize everything, and you're going to be able to add utility to those things. And that's why we talk about this access economy. Is, our value is how we're going to have access to things, not who we follow and such. So StarStake's approach was just that. It was to creating this entire ecosystem for creators to come in. They don't have to have coders, you don't have to have artists, you don't have to do all of that. It's basically a place where you can create your own currency, where your fans and audience can buy your own money and spend it on your stuff. You can create NFTs for anything you possibly want throughout any category, and you can attach royalties and rewards to give back to your fans, because they're sharing your stuff anyway. If they're a fan or if you have a community, now they're going to get rewarded for just doing the same thing that they're used to doing. And so that's a big piece. And then also we have the e-commerce piece, which is now you can sell NFTs that give access to products and services and content, and really sky's the limit. But on top of that, we knew that, like, oh, great, we can create this utility platform, but we need people to be able to sell this stuff. We need, like, how do you sell it? How do you share it? It's one thing to create something that's great, product or not, but you have to get the world to see it. And so we created this amazing simplified page builder where you can showcase your stuff really easily. We have an offer creator so you can bundle things together and offer deals and discounts and incentives for your audience and community. So we put a lot of sales and marketing into our platform, because at the end of the day, it's really right, like, you have to share this, you have to educate your audience on what this means. So that was a big part of what makes StarStake different. Plus, it's decentralized. There is not necessarily, it's decentralized in a way that you have control of your funds at all time. There's no YouTube or Facebook selecting when your audience can see your content. You have control, and you also have control of how you want to share those funds. StarStake never touches it. StarStake doesn't pool money, it never takes money, it doesn't do anything like that. It's just the algorithm, and it's the software that allows you to say, hey, when I collect this, when somebody buys my NFT, that some of that money is going to go here, some of it I'm going to share over here, and here's the things that I want it to do for me, right? And it's all built in. We have what's called Stake Hub, where you can manage this stuff. There's really three parts of StarStake. There's the Market Hub, which is our marketplace, where you can shop and discover. Our Stake Hub, where after you buy something, you can manage its performance. So you can see how it's performing, see what it's doing, see how it's earning for you or not. You can flip it, sell it, things like that there. And then we also have Creator Hub, which is on the creator side, how a person goes onto the platform for free, by the way, it's free to use, to be able to go on there and create things in a really easy way with training academy and workshops and cool stuff like that. So I guess I would call it kind of the Adobe suite for Web3 in a way, specifically because we believe that everybody has the ability to be a star. It really is, but we believe that. I mean, thoroughly believe that. It's just, unfortunately, a lot of people never get their shot, or they're limited by figuring out these algorithms, or giving up a big chunk of their money to record labels or whatever. And it reduces your ability to be creative. Shang, that. It's just running the business side of this is hard, especially when, COVID hits or things hit. So hopefully, and I'm optimistic, StarStake will solve these problems, and they'll make it fun. We have some really fun things in there for people to do. And then you'll want to share that. Like, we want creators to say, hey, check out my StarStake profile, check out my page, and be excited about it. And I think the rest will take care of itself.
That is amazing. I always say this. I see all the developments every day I see the ups and downs and all the new features, and I've tried it myself, and I just can't wait till people, I'm sure you too. You can't wait till you see how people use it, how they get creative in it, how they realize. I'm not sure if they really actually understand when we say they can create their own economy. It's kind of a big word, but I think that once they fully
Real.
understand, they'll be as excited as us for this rocket to just launch and just have fun with it. Thank you so much for being here and for giving us a lot of detailed updates about StarStake. And is there anything else that you would like to share just to wrap up?
Um, One thing I can share is we are launching our onboarding academy. I believe it will be, well, depending on when you watch this video, it could be live, but Astra is coming forward. So Astra is our kind of our onboarding program. So if you want to be on StarStake as a user or a creator, you can go through Astra. We have our own community coming forward. We have some giveaways. We're giving away thousands of dollars of NFTs and value. We're doing those every week. We have contests running. Plus some other really cool prizes and things. So as soon as you're watching this, there'll be either a link below or somewhere around this that you can check out Astra at that time. And that will be the best way to learn about StarStake, to experience something I promise you've never experienced before. We've used AI and artificial intelligence in ways that I never even thought possible. And you'll see that when Astra launches. But yeah, I would say the community, get involved in the community, come join us, check out what we're doing. And as soon as we launch, you'll be the first to know about it if you're in there, and you'll have a really big advantage, and you'll hear about this soon. So make sure you check that out. But other than that, I just love talking to people that are excited about the future. It excites me a lot.
All right, you guys be here early. So, the people who has a lot of success in one thing is actually they adopt earlier. So, Starstick is here, like what Chris said. Astra is there to teach you. So, and it's free. So, come and join the community. Thank you so much. How about a big round of applause to my husband, Chris Hawk? Thank you. And
Thank
I'm hoping
you.
we can do it again. It's kind of fun, but it's kind of like nerve wracking us at the same time because it's the first time we did it. I appreciate your
Yeah,
time.
we'll do it a lot, I'm sure.
It's so glad to see you
Yeah.
and have you on my channel. Thank you guys so much. Please don't forget
See
to
you.
subscribe, like if you like to hear more about StarStake and NFTs and the new world that we're living in today. Thank you so much. It's Shang Belmonte with Chris Hawk signing off. Bye.
Bye bye. See you.
In the beginning, humans looked to the stars for answers, a view of where we came from, and in some ways, what we can become. Today, when we look to the sky, we wonder if we're alone and how far we can go. We've come a long way in the last 20 years, creating experiences that through art and technology have transported us to discover new stars of all types. Some stars help connect and bring us together. Others transport us to all new worlds with breathtaking adventures. We see stars as greater-than-life figures, magical moments, and fantastical achievements. We live amongst these stars every day. Crafting StarStake, we are reminded that the things we love most don't come from the stars above, but from the ones all around us. StarStake is the first NFT-based royalty marketplace, bringing the world's greatest creations and its creators together with fans and consumers to create even greater opportunities. More than that, StarStake is about access, an entirely new economy built solely on our connections to the things we use and enjoy. StarStake is something we've dreamt of having, and it's only now that we have the hardware, the technology, and the experience to push our creative boundaries even further. In it, we invite you to join Astra, the official prologue to your journey into StarStake. For the first time, we'll provide an inside look at what makes this next-generation platform so important, and how you can forge new connections to your great creations. As a fan, discover new opportunities inside the NFT-based marketplace with access to your favorite stars, rewards, and royalties. We have a lot to share. Together, let's begin the journey to go beyond blockchain and explore the possibilities of our progress as creators and consumers. We hope you'll join Astra to find your way to StarStake and go with us on the journey to discover the next generation of startups.